Okay, so what's up, guys? Today we've got a very, very special guest.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to introduce yourself, bro? Just a brief introduction.
Okay. I'm Z2. I have a YouTube channel with around 200 subscribers. I've been on YouTube for around 3 months, and I'm happy to make an impact on so many people's lives with my videos. I mean, the reception I've been getting on recent videos is crazy, and I'm so grateful for that. I've been on self improvement for about 10 months now. So I think in October or December, one of them, October or December, is going to be my 1 year anniversary for self improvement. So that's hype. That's super hype.
Ooh, 1 year, nearly there. Sick, man. I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's sick. So 10 months now. What did your life look like before those 10 months, and how did you come across the whole self improvement niche?
If I'm being honest with you, my life, it wasn't horrible. It was pretty good. Like it was actually pretty good. My life. Like
Okay.
my grades were pretty. My grades were fine. My social skills were all right. Nothing was completely wrong with me. But when I stared in the mirror, I kind of saw a version of myself that I knew I wasn't kind of living up to be. I wanted to be someone superior to who I was in the mirror. I wanted to be someone who people could look at and find a beacon of light and support and masculinity and just overall greatness inside of. You know what I mean? And how I found self
Okay.
improvement was through a Hamza video. Through a Hamza video. It was
Really?
yeah, man. Surprisingly.
Everyone's through Hamza. Hamza the goat.
It's sur-
I love that
yeah,
man.
it was a morning routine video. It was like talking about the perfect morning routine. And in the video, he kind of described the day-to-day basis of a person on self-improvement, what they would do, how they do it, all that type of stuff. And one thing that really
Mm,
resonated with me, I remember this very clearly. He stared into the camera and he said, mindfulness and meditation will bring you such peace. As I'm saying these words, as I'm speaking right now, I have no thoughts in my mind but what I'm saying. And that resonated so much to
mm,
me. I kind of wanted to, because at the time I had TikTok, I had Instagram, I had everything, and I was just on that 24/7. And it was a bad lifestyle, you know?
yeah.
It was the high information diet, which is not a good lifestyle at all. So when he said
Mm,
that, it kind of clicked with me. I wanted to be someone like that who was always present and always had kind of a happiness to him that other people could look at and be like, "Hey, I want to be like him. I want to act like him." That type of stuff. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
love that, man. I love that. So you'd
It's
say your life is better now than before, the 10 months where you didn't really know about self improvement.
ooh, because I can give a couple of reasons why it isn't. Like I could actually give a
Okay.
couple of reasons why after self improvement my life actually got worse. I could give a couple
Yeah.
of reasons why, but
What are the
the
reasons?
pros outweigh the
Yeah.
cons so much. Like for example, socially,
Mm,
like my my social life is not good, yo. Like I do have I like to say I have pretty good social skills, but around people I just kind of don't, I don't click with people that much because I would say I'm different. I wouldn't say I'm better, but I'd say me and the people in my school, the people I talk to, are kind of on different wavelengths, if that makes sense. I'm kind of on one
mm,
that is mainly focused on growth and prosperity, stuff like that, while they're kind of focused on, if this makes sense, the present moment, but not in a good way. Like how to maximize like dopamine and instant gratification right now at the cost of things like your future studies or your future life and your future health, stuff like that. So me and my friends were kind of on different wavelengths, and I immediately noticed that when I actually started to introduce my friends to self improvement, which was the biggest mistake I've ever made. Yeah, bro. If you try to get
oh,
your old friends on self improvement, I guarantee it will not work. Like, and this isn't me being like a cynical or anything. It just won't work when you try to get your old friends on self improvement. And most of
yeah.
the time, they're gonna make fun of you. And this is how it is. Like, there's no reason to get angry about that, but like that's just how it is. When you try to get degenerates on self improvement, you're gonna sound extremely preachy. And yeah, there's nothing you can really
That's a
do about it. You know
fact.
what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely, man. It's a tough one, man. It's a lonely journey because
Mhm.
you find that
Absolutely,
the
bro.
more you get into
That
it,
was what it
you
was
can't
like, though.
relate. Yeah, you can't relate to people anymore, or like not
Exactly,
average people, but
exactly.
like the majority of people. Yeah, I get what you mean,
Yeah,
man.
exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, what is it about, like our routines or lifestyles that make us different? What are some activities or habits that you do now, like these days, that are different to what, the majority of people do? And your favorite habits?
So I'd say I'm definitely not a routine based person. I struggle with routines a lot, but I
Mm,
also think that that isn't really a bad thing. Like throughout the day, I won't have like designated times to do things like, oh, 10:50
mm,
meditate, 11 read a book, 12 work on your. I don't really have times like that, but I kind of have these mental notes when to do stuff and like when to engage with specific activities. Like for example, I have found that for me, meditation during the evenings works best with my schedule and it's my overall lifestyle.
mm.
Especially when I'm out in the sunset looking at this like the sky. That's the perfect time for meditation, bro. And I've also found that
Nice.
reading, I usually read twice a day, like early in the mornings and late and kind of right before I sleep, which kind of helps me get in the mood for sleeping. And when it's early in the morning, your brain kind of takes that information in better and easier. Same thing with journaling. It's kind of all throughout the day. I don't really have a time for that. Whenever I feel like journaling, I'll just journal. Whenever I don't want to, I'll just put it for another time. But either way, I get everything done in a day, and it's not kind of it's not a most of the times it's not a challenge for me because I've always seen as long as I did it, as long as I've done it, it's a win. Like I usually
Yeah.
do 10 to 15 minute meditations a day, but I'm completely fine with doing 5 minutes a day or 3 minutes a day. I'm completely fine with that. My favorite self improvement hobby, it would probably be reading because I think that
Reading.
there's something so incredibly profound about just using the wisdom that other people have experienced in their life and applying it to your life and kind of extrapolate and get in such a way that you can not only use it in a specific area, like let's say if you read a psychology book, you're obviously going to use it in psychology, but sometimes you can take those psychology principles and apply them to other aspects of your life, like your business or finance or sales, stuff like that. And
Mm,
that's what really clicked with me. And I think that people kind of should read the books that they want to read. Like for example, I was reading the 4 Hour Work Week, right? And like it's a great book.
mm,
Like it's actually a great business book. It's a great finance book. But
yeah.
I was thinking like, why would I be reading this? Because I don't really plan on making like a serious business anytime soon, or like getting an income autopilot or something like that. Like at the
Okay.
moment, my goal right now is just to like be as good as I can in my studies, and also like be really good on YouTube and make quality videos. So I kind of extrapolated that, and I was like, okay, what book will help me not only make quality videos but be extremely good in my studies? And then I was like, oh, it's Deep Work by Cal Newport. And this book is really good. It's a great book. It
Oh,
teaches you about the psychology of working and all that stuff. It's an amazing book. So yeah, and that's what I think people should do because the first book I read wasn't even a self improvement book. It was a psychology book called Surrounded by Idiots, and it was a really good book. It was a really good look see into psychology and all that stuff. And I'm really grateful for it because it opened a lot of doors for me. And after that, I read How to Influence and Influence People. Dude, this book is the Bible of social skills, bro. Like you don't
yeah.
need any other book except this book if you want to actually like not only pull women but like but like talk to like be a good like social speaker, all that stuff, bro. This book is like the Bible for social
Mm,
skills. Yeah,
I
and
love that, man.
that's what my favorite hobby is. Yeah, reading. I love reading. I
Okay.
love it so much.
So, out of all of the books that you've read, what is the one that you'd recommend to like a newbie or to a beginner on the whole self improvement idea? Which book has really like helped you the most or changed your
Ooh,
mindset the most?
the book that's changed my mindset the most,
Yeah.
The Magic of Thinking Big by David J. Schwartz. I think Habib Rahman talked about this book, right?
Mm.
Too, right? It's just
Yeah, yeah,
y'all
yeah.
mentioned it. Right? Yeah,
He did.
that
Yeah,
book,
he liked
bro.
that.
Yeah, that book is so incredibly good, bro. Before I read that, I was kind of on the stoicism wave, right? Like, oh man, I suck at this. I suck at this, but I gotta get better, and that's a good mindset to have. But at at what point you have to abandon that mindset and start thinking big and positive for yourself? And that's what the whole book is about: just thinking positive, thinking positively, like having good thoughts, and just like manifesting those thoughts into your creations and making the best creations that can be. And that book,
Mm,
it's one of my. I think it's yeah, probably my second favorite book of all time, and I love it so damn much, and it's changed my life and it's helped me set not realistic goals. And this is the I made a video about this. Don't set realistic goals. Like you can
Hmm.
if you want to, but if you set realistic goals, you're gonna get realistic results. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you set
Mm.
stupid ambitious goals, you're gonna get stupidly ambitious results. And that's what I love about it. That's what I love about it, man. Psychology is kind of it's always hit a place for me because I love the idea of different people interact with each other differently. Now you can kind of use it to your advantage and like use your brain to make you win, stuff like that. Yeah, and it's one of the best psychology books I've ever read, one of the best books that I've ever read, period. And I recommend it for anyone who's not only struggling with motivation, but also struggling with kind of creativity and how to enhance those creative juices and how to become a leader as well. And people who are struggling with excuses like, oh man, I want to do this, but I can't. There's a whole chapter on this. He is a disease called excusitis, and he gives like four types of
Exercise.
different. Yeah, exactly, bro. There's four different types of excusitis and how to like cure them, and it's a great book. Just 13
Mm.
chapters of just pure wisdom and knowledge, and I love it so much. Like it's the first book that I actually realized that okay, this is way too much damn information. I'm gonna have to like start writing the shit down that I actually want to
Yeah.
use. Yeah, so I got a notebook and and ever since then I started writing what like lessons I learned from each book I read, and that was so important. And I think everyone should be doing that. So yeah, The Magic of Thinking Big,
Mm.
great book, amazing book.
Magic thinking. I love that, man. I
Exactly,
love what you said about, the goal setting as well. Realistic goals are going to give realistic results. So always try and
exactly,
set unrealistic goals, aim high, feel high, all that kind of stuff.
exactly, bro.
I love that, man. So you said your focus right now is more so on, like studies and YouTube rather than
Yep.
building like a massive business. Okay. So let's touch on the education side of things right now. What is your
Mm.
opinion on like, studying and education? Do you think that nowadays it's not as important as it was before, or do you think that, teenagers and young people should still, place a lot of focus into their education and getting good grades?
If you really want to do something like if you want that thing to be your main passion and your purpose in life, this is obvious, right? Like when I started YouTube, it was kind of not really a purpose thing, but it was kind of out of the the happiness I gained from helping other people and like sharing my wisdom with other people. It never really was
Mm,
my purpose, if that makes sense. But I still
yeah.
found immense joy in doing it. But a lot of people, YouTube is their real purpose, and they find that making videos is what really makes them happy, and getting into flow states while making videos is really what makes them happy. And I
Mm,
think for those people, like whether it be YouTube or a business or a hobby or things like that, they should, if they want to, they can put that hobby first and put school on the back burner, if that makes sense. It should still be a priority, but I think that it'll be better if they chase what excites them and makes them happy the most, in my humble opinion. But I also
mm,
think that education is vital, for not only a good healthy brain to comprehend tons of information, but also to get anywhere in life. And of course, you don't need an education to like be great. Of course, you don't. That's been debunked thousands of times. But there's tons of people who actually want to be doctors, who actually want to be
mm,
engineers, and that's completely fine with getting a college or university education to do that. But it's not the 1990s. People can still not get an education and do great in life. But I found that the education, especially the grade school is really important. I think everyone should be aiming to finish grade school because I think what people don't talk about is that school actually teaches you discipline, right? It's because like I don't
mm,
want to study
yeah.
history. I don't want to study any of that, man. Get that out of here. But I still have to if I want to get done with school. So I'll place the history book down and I'll just start reading and memorizing. So yeah, that's how it is, man. And that's how I kind of view school, not as something that's incredibly difficult for me, but something that I kind of have to do if I want to get to the upper stages of life. Which, for me, my I kind of see myself in the distant future becoming a physical therapist, and like this is just a distant
Ooh.
future becoming a physical therapist and kind of making a YouTube channel off of that, like off of general fitness, health, and stuff like that. Because ever since I learned about physical therapy, it's kind of like stuck in my brain. Like, yeah, I completely see myself doing something like this, and I actually love it a lot. So yeah, that's always
Mm,
kind of been my goal. You know what I mean? Just to get to
okay.
a point where I can be helping other people and sharing my
See.
wisdom with them. You know what I mean?
I love that, man. Wait, so
Yes, sir.
how did you, get into the whole physical therapy thing and fitness? sides, and what is it that really interests you about it?
Because Timothy, there are people who, like, God bless them, they're old, 60, 70, 80 something, and they can't
Mm,
even move, man. Like they
yeah,
can't even, like, bro, they can't even get hard, bro. Like their physical health, bro, like their physical health sucks. Like it sucks
yeah,
so much, bro. And that's kind of what like inspired me. Like, yo, I
mm,
wanna be that guy. I wanna be a guy who when he hits 60, 70, 80, of course your body's gonna start to like break down and stuff. Yeah, yeah. But I also
yeah,
wanna be physically capable. I also wanna be able to, ball with my grandpa homies, you know what I mean? I've always wanted to just like be a physically capable man, not a crazy
mm,
bodybuilder or like a boxer or anything like that, but someone who's physically capable. And I think that fitness has many branches. And I've said this in my server, fitness has many branches. And if you try to be a one trick, you're gonna suck. Like you're actually gonna suck in life, and your body's gonna suck. Like bodybuilders, for example, they're a one trick. Their main goal is to build as much muscle as possible. And
yeah,
that's like if you really think about that, it's horrible for your health. Like it's really horrible for your health putting on all that muscle. And most of them even inject synthol and take steroids. That's how their
yeah,
careers are started. And I think that's really bad for them. So I think that fitness has many branches and you shouldn't be a one trick. Like you shouldn't be the guy who only does cardio. You shouldn't be the guy who only boxes. You shouldn't be the guy who only bodybuilds. You should kind of blend all aspects of fitness into one and just become a healthy, capable male. You know what I mean? That's kind of
mm,
what
I feel it.
inspired me to, you know, like just be that guy in school who's like the fittest. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's what I love about
Yeah,
fitness. There's kind of a competitive aspect to it. Being like kind of being better than the people around you and being more fitter than the people around you. There's also kind of a competitive aspect like that, which also drives me a lot. So yeah,
I love that, man. Health is wealth, as they say. I definitely don't want to
exactly,
be like 60 and, just 60, 70, not being able to move and anything like that. So I feel you on that,
exactly,
man.
bro.
Love that. So, what are some exercises or kind of fitness things that you do right now to get in better shape or stay fit and healthy?
Ooh, the first one, and this is like a super hot take, but if I had to choose bodybuilding between this, I'd choose this one. Like if I was 60, if I had to choose like going to the gym between this, I'd always choose this one. It's stretching. Stretching is like so
Mm,
incredibly vital for our bones, our joints, our muscles. It's so incredibly important for all those because you don't want to be the guy who can like bench press like 500 kg, but like can't even do this. You know what I mean? I can't even do that. See,
yeah. Wait.
it's
Okay,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you want to like you want to be flexible, bro. You want to be able to do some weird, funky shit with your body, bro. Like you want to be able to
Yeah.
twist around. You want to be able to turn around when you're old and not crack your back. You want to be able to grab this and just like do some shit with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel it, bro.
Yeah, and
Movement.
that's one of the main things about that. And also, cardio is very important. Cardio. I try to keep a good cardiovascular fitness basis. I do boxing. I go on runs a lot. I love biking. Biking is one of my favorite things to do. And yeah,
Okay.
just cardio and stretching, aside from muscle building, which is obviously great, those two things are really, really important for a healthy life.
Okay, cardio stretch. I love that, man. I definitely need to start stretching more. I did used to stretch a lot,
Yes,
but not.
sir.
I need to get back into it. I love that, man. Okay, so are there any like fitness influencers that you watch or that help you or you use to gain more knowledge in the whole kind of fitness industry? Who would you recommend?
So, as I said, most fitness influencers are a one trick. They only
Mm,
bodybuild, they only box, they only stretch, stuff like that. Most of them are a one trick. And those ones that aren't a one trick, you'll kind of see them like use specific tactics in content creation to kind of pull
mm,
people in. And they also kind of like have this money only mentality where they give promises
okay.
of something and they like make it under like a paywall, stuff like that. So yeah, I find it hard to find good fitness influencers nowadays. However,
Mm,
for bodybuilding, like for purely muscle building, the two fitness influencers I'd recommend anyone to start with are Natural Hypertrophy and Jeff Nippard, which are two of probably the best fitness influencers ever. They have great tactics on how to build muscle, how to keep muscle, the diets, everything about them. They're just great, great fitness YouTubers. And for and for like MMA, boxing, stuff like that, I'd recommend, of course, Fight Tips. I think his name was Fight Tips. Yeah, Fight Tips and the Rios brothers as well. They're good for athletic bodybuilding and flexibility and stuff like that. And flexibility, of
Mm,
course, is his main big YouTuber called Movement by David. I think his name was. He's
okay.
like the biggest like stretching YouTuber on the platform. He has like tons of content about stretching and why it's healthy and stuff like that. So yeah, those are
Okay, I
who I'd
see.
recommend to people trying to get into fitness.
Nice, man. Okay. And what about, so you've mentioned, you first got into self improvement because of Hamza. Who are some other self improvement influencers or content creators that you look up to and you watch?
Mm. Okay, so let me take you back, right? This is around month 5 or 6 of self improvement.
Okay.
I'm in the Hamza Discord server, right? And then I
Yeah,
go to the
yeah.
forums, and then I see this one guy talking about, hey, if you want to be a superior student, join my Discord. Yeah, I see this one guy talking about that. Yeah,
Oh, he sounds like a great guy. I wonder who that was.
yeah. And then I joined the server, and then we got to know each other. I got to know the community. Great community. They had these weekly accountability things. The guy's name
Mm.
was Tyrone, something like that. I forgot.
Oh,
Something
yeah,
like that.
something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Something like
I heard he's really cool though. I heard he's really cool, really handsome,
yeah,
tall, all
exactly,
that,
bro.
those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah. A
Yeah,
little bit
guys, I
after that,
recommend
he
him as
starts
well.
to. A little bit after that, he starts to post his own YouTube videos, and I was like, his first one was about nature or something. And then when I saw that, I
Mm.
was kind of like, yo, he's just a normal guy who just posts YouTube videos and talks about what he wants to talk about. That can also give out like tons of great wisdom to other people. So he was one of the
Mm.
main guys that I looked up to, like during like self improvement, and I also like kind of base
Appreciate that,
like
man.
most of my videos off of how he speaks and like the topics he talks about. One of the first videos I ever made was about a topic that he spoke about. It was you
Oh,
have to
okay.
work hard and smart. So that was a he was a
Oh, yeah,
huge
yeah, yeah.
huge
I think I
inspiration to
saw
me,
that
man.
one actually from Tyrone's channel. I
Exactly,
think I saw that. Yeah, yeah,
exactly, bro. He's a goof.
yeah. Yeah.
He's a great YouTuber, and honestly, I don't be watching that much like self improvement YouTubers that much. I only really watched Hamza, Tyrone, and another one that I've like
Yeah.
a couple months back. I started watching is Caden, and ever since then, he's been
Mm.
like one of my best friends. Like he's actually
Mm.
been like such a like. If it wasn't for him, I dead ass. I don't think I might have been the YouTuber I am today. Like I don't think I
Mm.
might have been as skillful as I was today. And the same thing with Tyrone. I just saw him. He was a normal guy posting
Yeah, yeah.
great videos where he got me engaged with the material and he kind of helped other people along the way, which is what I really resonated with. And this
Mm.
was around the time that summer started. And he had this thing going on called Self Improvement Summer where and then he started the Discord and then we all kind of joined that Discord and we started
Mm.
talking, hit it off. And then I needed help from him. I got into a call with him and I was like, yo, bro, I think I might be addicted to video games. And then since then we kind of like hit it off and we just started talking about life and like addictions and stuff like that, and we've been so close ever since, and I'm so eternally grateful for my friend Caden, bro. I would not be here if it wasn't
Mm.
for him. And he's like the person I look up to the most. Like if you see my editing style, like I dead ass thing, like it's like exactly like his. And
Really?
like actually like it's very similar.
Yeah.
I thought of this and I was like I looked at some of his old videos and I looked at some of mine and I was like, yo, this is similar, and that's because we had this thing going on where he was gonna coach me for a month, and we were gonna make a video about it. And like every video I
Mm.
posted, he was like giving me feedback on that and how to improve and how to do better with my videos and stuff like that. And yeah, ever since then,
Yeah.
he's just been my number one homie if I ever need anything. He's the smartest guy I know, like actually the smartest guy I know, and he's so
Mm.
incredibly awesome. And he's just been my best friend, and I love him so much for that, man. Like
I
I'm
love
so
that,
grateful
man.
for him. It's inspired me to do YouTube
WK.
all that. I'm so grateful for him. Exactly, WK, bro.
Mm. Yeah, he's incredibly smart. When I did the podcast with him, he was dropping gems. Like he was
Exactly, bro.
insane.
That's what I'm
Yeah, man.
talking about.
WK then. I love that, man. This is a perfect kind of segue to talk about YouTube. You know, how have you
Mm.
found the process of creating videos, editing, scripting videos, posting them? What's that been like for you?
Tedious but enjoyable, if that makes
Okay.
sense. Let me tell you, editing is incredibly tedious, especially with CapCut. Sometimes when you're like on the
Yeah.
less like when you're finished with the editing, like the CapCut will start to slow down because of all the footage you stockpiled into one file. So it'll start to slow down. When it gets to that, it'll feel extremely tedious, but you know the end result is always going to be worth it. You know the video is going to be a quality video that you put like you made using your heart and your soul, and other people are going to benefit from it. And yeah, and
Mm,
with content creation, I think it's important that everyone kind of has their own, if this makes sense, everyone has their own niche, if this makes sense. Because some people are born to like be good like public speakers and just like convince people to
yeah.
come to one ideology like Hamza. Like the moment I watched one self-improvement video, and was like this for everyone, he got me instantly hooked into self-improvement and self-development because he's such a good speaker. And for other people, it's like this.
Mm,
So like with fitness, you can find YouTubers who will like brainwash you into being to hitting the gym. That's how good they are at what they do. So I think everyone kind of has their niche, which they can they can stick in, and they can kind of just like make as much helpful content as possible. But for me, I don't think
mm.
that I'm kind of in the self improvement niche, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like dead ass. Like let's be honest, what self improvement YouTuber do you see talking about the psychology of colors?
That's true.
No one. No,
That was a
no
great
one.
video, by the way.
Yeah, but like, yeah, thank
Healthy
you,
vid.
bro. And like, you'll see self improvement YouTubers kind of on the same wavelength. They'll talk about no fap. They'll talk about the 5 ways to make money. Oh,
Oh yeah.
the 3 books that get you successful, which is ironically a video I have coming out soon. And like they have, look, and they have like
Yeah.
all these like they're stuck in this one self improvement niche, which I think they
Mm,
can definitely thrive off of, but you got to know when to make actually like good thought provoking content, which will like not only make you happy because of the great product you made, but also make other people like interested and help them out a ton. So yeah,
I
that's
feel
what's up
that.
with content creation, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree, man. I'd say like I initially started off with the whole self improvement thing as well because that was all I knew, that was all I watched. But I think now I also want to try start making more like thought provoking content and also like vlogs, fitness content. I
exactly,
want to just
exactly,
dive into. I don't want to be part of like just locked into the self improvement niche as well. So I feel you on that, bro, for real.
exactly. And I told Kaden about this. I was like, yo, who do you see making a video about Undertale, bro? What self improvement YouTuber do you see making a video about Undertale? What self improvement
Mm,
YouTuber do you see making a video about Homo sapiens? What self improvement YouTuber do you see making a video about
mm,
their basketball journey? No one. No one, bro. It's
exactly,
only us.
exactly. It's
We're a
only
breed. We're a
us.
rare breed, bro. That's
Very
we're
different. We're
we're
built different. I
exactly,
love
bro.
that,
We're
man.
built different.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. Facts. So, okay, I want to talk a bit about some of the videos you watch because obviously I'm the number one fan. I watch all your videos. There was one in
Uh,
particular. My favorite video of yours was how to fool any celebrity. That video was top
bro.
notch, bro. So let's talk a bit about that one. For the people who may not have watched it,
Okay.
what would you say are the steps to not necessarily a celebrity, but just to pull the woman
Mm.
or the man of their dreams?
90% is working on yourself. The other
Mm,
10% is completely irrelevant.
okay.
I don't want to hear people talking about the other 10% because the other 10%, you know what it is? It's like it's basically like how your game is, how your riz is, how good you
Mm,
are, if you know what I mean. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it's that type of stuff that like people talk about the most when
Mm,
it's the 10%, it's not the 90%. The 90%, if I'm being straight honest, it's about improving yourself so much that you just attract like you're not even trying, you just boom 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 everywhere, they just come to you. Like you're not even like you're a
mm,
magnet, you're not even trying. That's why people need to work on the 90% the most, and then they can start to talk about what they can do with the 10%, you know what I mean? And what's within the
okay.
90% is kind of getting in tune with the divine masculine or the divine feminine. Because once you're in tune with the divine masculine and the divine feminine, you once you meet someone of the opposite, you'll create such an incredible polarity that bro, you won't even get your hands off each other. Like that's how it is, bro. Like you need to be
Mm,
so in tune with the divine masculine or the divine feminine, and you also need to be so like incredibly, if this makes sense, you kind of have to be on a different wavelength from your partner and from other people. Like everyone's here, your partner's here, you need to be here. Like that's just how you need to be.
okay.
Like you have to kind of be
Mm,
on a different wavelength, physically, mentally, and spiritually. That's how you have to be,
okay.
bro.
I love that, man. Take this advice in, guys. This is some real gems you won't hear
Exactly, bro.
anywhere else, man. Okay, so you mentioned the idea of divine masculinity. What does
Mm.
masculinity mean to you? What does that entail, and how can someone become more masculine?
So I recently just started doing research about this topic of like masculinity, femininity. I always knew it was a thing when Hamza talked about it, but like
Yeah.
nowadays I've started to actually like deeply research, like and deeply like contemplate about what it means to be divinely masculine and what it means to be divinely feminine. And yo, like I'm not
Okay.
like any guru or anything. I'm young. Like I'm I'm
Yeah.
still in grade school. Yeah, I'm not any guru or anything. Like what I can say is from what I've learned, masculinity is stillness. It's when something is thrown your way, you're unfazed. You don't even look at it. You don't even like engage. You're unfazed when a problem comes your way. And it's
Mm,
also kind of about the pursuit for purpose and becoming one with love. And I had a meditation about this once, love as a natural state of being, which is a meditation on medito. It was really profound what I experienced. It was kind of the masculine love for every being on earth, every male, every female, every atom. I was so great, like in that meditation, I was so incredibly grateful for everything around me. And I think that's one of the pillars
mm,
of being a man, gratitude. Like you have to be
yes.
so grateful for the things around you if you want the things around you to love you and be grateful for you. Like that's how it is. And with the divine
Okay.
feminine, I think it's kind of, and natural hypertrophy actually explained this really well. Masculinity is the rock, right? And
Yes.
femininity is the water splashing on the rock, if that makes sense. Like femininity
Mm,
is chaos.
okay.
It's change. It's everything that changes. But masculinity is order. And Jordan Peterson also talks about this. It's like it's a yin and yang. Masculinity is the white order. It's still nothing changes, but femininity is the chaos. It's the change, everything that changes, everything that's new. Which of course new is good, but most of the time new can destroy your life. And he also
Mm,
talks about how in the yin yang sign, in the white there's a
yeah.
piece of black, and in the black there's a piece of the white. And that's how kind of life works, I guess. In every masculinity, you're gonna see a little bit of femininity. In every being of femininity, you're gonna see a little bit of masculinity. In every being of order, you're gonna see a little bit of chaos. In every being of chaos, you're gonna see a little bit of order. That's how life works. And I think what it means to be in tune with the divine masculine and the divine feminine is kind of getting to a place in your life where you can clearly say, "Yeah, I'm a man, and I'm proud that I'm a man. I'm proud that I can like I'm proud that I'm a man. I'm proud I have short hair. I'm not a I'm not a girl. I'm proud I look like this. I'm proud of my masculinity. I'm proud of like my dominance, if that makes sense. And I don't want to change it. I
Mm,
want to be a man. I love being a man, and that's and kind of and like you talked about how I can like improve your masculinity. Do things that are inherently masculine, like helping
okay.
people. I think is inherently masculine. Giving people guidance, inherently masculine. Being the force of stoicism and like dominance when an incredible tragedy or something incredibly sad comes your way and strikes you. Like, and Jordan Peterson talks about this. You have to stand up straight with your shoulders back. No fear, no nothing. You're just there. You're stoic. You're completely stoic. Nothing changes. You have to
Mm,
be that person who, when something happens in your life, you're unfazed. And with femininity, it's kind of, I'm not a girl, so I can't speak for the
yeah.
girls, but like, I've seen it's like kind of being in tune with the feminine traits, which for girls would kind of be just like also with like men helping the men do their work, uh, you know,
Mm.
washing the dishes, shit like that. Like not like that, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not like
I
that, but
go
like housework, like
controversial.
yeah, you get what I mean, right? And like inherently feminine traits, like, you can distinctly
Yeah.
like find out inherently masculine traits and inherently feminine traits, and depending on whether you're a girl or a boy, you could kind of go down that lane and just become the masculine or feminine pillar in your life that the
Mm,
opposite can kind of come to, and like you can create such a beautiful polarity, and the people of your and the other feminine people or the other masculine people, they're kind of with you, and they also benefit from how masculine or feminine you are. And yeah, that's what it is, you know.
mm. That was, whew, wow, insane bombs of knowledge dropped right there. Okay, I want to ask you this
Think
because,
so?
yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm learning right now. I should have a notepad. Oh, but okay, so how, what do you think it is like? How come you're so intelligent and knowledgeable at such a young age? Like, I can imagine where you're going to be in like 5, 10 years, man. What do you think?
Or
Do
you
you
got me
think
touching
that? Do you think that like even before you found self improvement, you've always been like interested in like knowledge and gaining truths and all this kind of stuff, or do you think it's only something that you've picked up recently where you're just interested in becoming really intelligent and grounded around like life and the world and stuff?
No, bro, I was never like I was never like this, bro. I was I
Really?
did not care about any of this, bro. I just wanted women.
Mm,
I wanted to do random shit. I wanted to play games. That's all I wanted to do, bro. I did not care about none of that. None of that, bro.
I
I did
see.
not care.
It's
I had a
interesting.
couple goals for myself, you know? I was like, yo, I
Yeah.
want to get good grades. I want to do this or that, but they were never clear set goals. It was just kind of whatever feels right to me in the moment, which, by the way, if you do whatever feels good to you in the moment, you will die. You will die and the people around you will suffer. And that's like the unironic
Mm,
truth.
that's true.
So,
Okay, so
yeah. And
for someone who's always like, let's say they're always wanting to do instant gratification activities, they're always wanting to play games, scroll on TikTok and Instagram, stuff like that. How can they, learn how to practice more delayed gratification? How could they build their discipline and, just try and move away from those addictions?
you want me to be honest, bro? Like, brutally honest,
Yeah,
it's
brutally
impossible.
honest.
It's actually impossible.
Oh,
Like you will never, like as I told you, you won't get your friends or the degenerate people on self improvement because they don't want to improve, bro. They do not want to improve. They want to keep
mm,
scrolling. They want to keep smoking. They want to keep uh, playing video games and jacking off like a little monkey, bro. Like they want to
mm,
keep doing that. They don't want to stop. They do not want to stop. And if they want to stop, you'll know. They'll come to you and like you'll be like, "Yo, I need help, bro. I like my life. It sucks. I need help." And that's happened to me a couple times, and I've helped those
mm,
people, which have like made me so incredibly happy. And that's one of the best. Like I love doing things like that. I just love helping people the most. I love just
mm,
being I love just being a pillar of wisdom to other people around me. And even at a young age, I'm not that smart. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but you know, it's still good to be that guy who people can look up to and be like, "Yo, you're the best person I know. I need your help." Yeah.
mm.
So it's
Love that,
impossible to
man.
get those type of people on self improvement unless they want to change themselves. That's how it is.
I see. Damn, that sucks, man. But yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
Wait, so actually, I forgot to ask this because it just popped in my mind. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like all these addictions kind of stuff that, plague
Mm.
teenagers and young people today. What would you say is the biggest or the most problematic one? Is it social media, gaming? Is it junk food, lack of exercise, adult content? What would you say it is?
The biggest
Yeah, the worst one. Let's go for young men. Like, what would you say is the worst
young
one?
man.
Or
Okay,
yeah, the
okay. I'm gonna tackle all of these at once, and I'm gonna give you a very interesting
okay,
answer. The high information diet. They
okay.
take in so much information, so much dopamine, so much things that their brain, A, does not want to learn, two, is not capable of learning, and three, just like it doesn't care. It does your brain does not care, but you're still taking in all this information. And this also ties back to social media, which
Mm,
yeah, I think social media might be the biggest problem. When you scroll on TikTok, like I'm scrolling. Imagine how much videos you're watching a minute. Like logistically, you might be watching like 20 videos, maybe 20,
yeah.
10 videos a minute, like something like that. And oh my god, bro. It's crazy. Your brain takes in so much information. It's not made to take in this much information, but like you still do,
Mm,
and it messes you up so bad. The same thing with Instagram and Snapchat. You always go on these apps to like indulge, to learn more, and to
yeah,
like do all this stuff which you don't need to do and you shouldn't do. It's messing you up. It's messing you up so bad, bro. All this social media, like your brain's just gonna like implode because it's been taking in so much information that it does not need to take in. The high information
yeah,
diet is so like detrimental to youngins nowadays, to young men. Especially me. I'm so glad I'm off that high information diet. I'm so glad I'm like
mm,
blessed to realize and wake up. But so many young men, and I've also noticed it's more for the young women in the world. It's way more for them because they kind of have
mm,
this peer pressure, if this makes sense, to be on social media, to be kind of active, and to be a person who's always like commenting on everything, and to also kind of, if this makes sense, and this is just a random theory I had, to kind of just look
yeah,
pretty for other people. Does that make sense? Especially for young
yeah,
women, kind of just like look pretty for other people to comment on, and then just like it's crazy, bro. Like you'll see all these like bad things that have become habits. Like when you're like, okay, I delete social media. I don't need to do any of this. People will actually call you eccentric. They will call you a loser for deleting social media, which is the right thing to do.
mm.
Your brain should not be taking in all this useless information, bro. Like, I do not need to know that Kim Jong Un is gonna die in like 3 weeks. I don't care. I don't care, bro. I do not care that Kim
Wait, is
Jong
that
Un is gonna
real?
die in 3 weeks. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, there's a
And
lot of stuff that has
if
no
it was so
effect on your
important, bro,
life.
yeah, exactly. And if
Mm,
it was so important, I would know. Like if like it was proven that like there's cancer in the sky right now, if it was proven, it would get to me. Like somehow, some way,
yeah.
it would get to me. I don't. And people don't comprehend this. They're like, oh well, I need to get up with the times. I need to know what's up. I need to know what's happening in the world. No, you don't. You don't.
Mm,
It's like it's crazy, man. That's what's
yeah.
messing people up, yo.
Exactly. That's why I tend to, stay away from not even just social media, just like, watching the news on TV because it's a lot of stuff that doesn't really have an effect on your life and it's just a
Just makes
bunch of
you sadder, bro.
negativity. Exactly. Exactly. I feel that, bro. So the low information
Yeah.
diet is the way to go. Is that what you'd say?
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
So I'm just gonna ask a couple of like, quick fire questions. I just want to get your opinion on
Let's
these
go.
kind of quick. Okay. So first question. In your opinion, can money buy happiness?
Mm. Yes and no. Because
Yes or
what
no?
is your happiness? Like, what is your happiness? Because for a lot of people, their happiness
Mm.
will be getting with as much women as they want, which logistically isn't even happiness. True happiness is found in the work you do and the things you create. But some people, their happiness, their pleasure is getting as much women as they want. And with money, you can get as much women as you want, as much as you want. But at the same time,
Mm.
someone who just like is a starving artist, like actually a starving artist who loves making music, they're way happier than the guy who has tons of money, but just kind of like doesn't use it wisely and only gets it for pleasure, uses the money for pleasure. They're way, way happier than that person. And that's just the truth. The people who love what
Mm.
they create, they put their heart and soul into what they create, and they do deep work and they get into a state of flow, which has like proven to be the happiest state of human existence. Like they're the true winners. They're the true winners.
Okay. I love that. Okay. Next quick fire
Mhm.
question. Uh,
Yeah.
innocent until proven guilty or guilty until proven innocent? And this is for anything, like maybe this is more so for like, say on social, I won't say any names, but like maybe people on social media that are getting cancelled or whatever. Do you usually tend to think they're innocent until proven guilty until you see something concrete, or do you tend to, like if there's enough people hating on them, you might agree or think that they're guilty until proven innocent?
It depends on the situation. I'm gonna give some like real life examples of
Okay.
like someone recent and someone who kind of like just you probably know him, but like there's a
Yeah.
singer called Rex Orange County. He's a pretty famous singer
Excellent.
actually. Yeah, I think you heard of him.
Mm.
I'm not too sure, but like he's pretty famous. And
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
recently he got accused for sexually assaulting a woman. And there's no
Mm.
proof about this. It's just been alleged. There's been an accusation. There's no proof about this. And
Mm,
I'm not actually sure what happened to the case. I'm not sure what happened, so I'll have to check up on that later. But my first instinct, like, and of course I don't know people. I don't know what Rex is like. I don't know what he's done. But my first instinct was innocent until proven guilty, because with all of Rex's like social media kind of internet shenanigans, which he's done none. He's just been a cool guy making music, being featured on tons of
mm,
songs, and like I've seen nothing bad of Rex Orange County. So of course I'm gonna think, yeah, I think this guy's innocent, but that's just an assumption. Anything could happen. I can be definitely proven wrong by that. But because he's had no
okay.
track record, of course I'm gonna think, yeah, he's innocent until proven guilty. If he's proven guilty, that's great. Great for the woman, great that she's getting justice, all that's amazing. But like innocent until proven guilty is what that's my instant mindset. But
Okay.
let's say hypothetically, you get news that Bill Cosby does something weird with another kid, okay? But there's no proof of this. It's just an allegation. Of
Hmm.
course you're gonna think that Bill Cosby, like of course you're gonna think he's guilty because he's done this so many times. Like of course
Yeah.
you're gonna think that because he has a track record of this stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's kind of my mindset
Yeah.
on the whole thing.
What is your opinion on the whole kind of red pill, ideology? Do you think that a guy should, you know, is it okay for a guy to sleep with as many girls as possible, or do you think that they should only find one and then marry them and then stick true to that girl? Or what's your opinion on that whole kind of side of things?
I think the natural inclination of men is to sleep is not to sleep but like not but like to be with like more than one woman, like that's the natural inclination of men.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that men have to act on it. It doesn't mean that they have to do it, not at all. It's way like it's I think in my opinion it's better if like one man has one wife, that's it. And especially in Islam, like people like men are encouraged to have four wives, which I don't really see a problem in. But because I think that once again I said it's the natural inclination of men. They want to be with more than one woman, but that doesn't mean that they have
Yeah.
to act on it. That doesn't mean that they have to go around and sleep with as much women as they want. And this
Mm,
also ties into another subject, which is self improvement is dumb because what are you self improving for? Like, what are you self? Are you self improving to go to the gym and to build like the aesthetic body, the broad shoulders and the small waist and shit? Like, are you doing
mm,
that just to sleep with as much women as possible? Is that really self improvement? No, it isn't. It's hedonism. It's degenerate. So I think the
yeah.
red pill is kind of just degeneratism. It's just being a degenerate, but it's kind of glorified in such a way where you use self improvement to become a degenerate. And I think that anyone who's on the red pill should get off of that as soon as possible and get on the spirituality pill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
The
agree.
pill of just
Really, man.
enlightenment, mindfulness,
Yeah.
happiness, purpose, stuff like that.
Exactly. So, what is one, maybe like a quote or a gem, like a piece of advice, maybe from a book or from a YouTuber, or maybe you saw it on the wall, or maybe even from your parents, something that's really stuck with you that, you always carry with you every single day that really just changed your whole outlook on life? Maybe just like a little quote or statement or something.
A little quote.
Yeah.
I have two.
Okay.
Um, Ralph Waldo Emerson, I think it's his name. People just call him Emerson.
Okay.
Emerson once said that in one way or another, I'm paraphrasing. In one way or
Yeah.
another, every man is my superior, and from that I learn from him.
Mm, okay.
In
That's a
one
nice
way, no
one.
matter like it could be any way, but like in one way, any man is your superior, so you have to learn from him, and that's like one with the student mindset. Which
Yeah.
the How to Influence and Influence People talks about this as well. It has a quote. That's where I first heard the quote, but I also heard it again when I was reading the Become a Student chapter in Ego is Anatomy, which I was really happy to see because like it's a great quote and yeah, it deserves more traction.
I like that quote.
And another one is it's an Andrew Tate quote. I don't know where I heard it. I think it was like a
Oh,
collab with a famous YouTuber. I don't know where I heard it, but it was like a video with a YouTuber.
okay.
He said, and I'm paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing once again, but he said,
Yeah.
I don't take advice from people I could easily kill. Like
That
that's
sounds like
dark,
something he'd
but
say.
it's the truth. It's dark, but I don't
Interesting.
like I kind of don't really want to hear what a skinny little like twink has to say about
Mm,
like about like how to fight, bro. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to hear that,
Yeah, I
bro.
get what you're trying to say.
I
I
just
think
like
there's a
you're
more
skinny, bro. Like, shut up. You're dumb, bro.
that's such an Andrew Tate way to say it. Like I think I've heard that somewhere else,
Exactly.
but the one that I know is it's I wouldn't take advice from someone that I wouldn't want to trade places with. That's the one that I
Yeah,
know.
that's also a good
That's
one.
such
That's
an Andrew
very good. I
Tate
would
thing to
not.
say.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
I love that, man. Perfect. So,
Yeah.
um, where can people find you on, maybe social media or YouTube or Discord, all that good stuff?
So at the moment, the only social media I have is YouTube. I occasionally download Instagram, but I find that like once I download Instagram, I'll kind of having a my addiction will kind of be brought back to it. So I just kind of stopped doing that. So I'm mainly on YouTube now. You can find me at Z2, just letter Z and letter two, and I also have a Discord server called Disciples of Discipline, where I'm trying to gather the most disciplined men that I could find, a network of young disciplined men who want to be the best version of themselves, and I plan on gathering all of them to create a strong brotherhood of men. And yeah, that's where people can find me. Also in the
Mm,
Superior Students Discord server, I'm a moderator there. And I love that server. It's brought me great accountability, great
mm.
leader, great owner. I love that server. I love the people in there. Great community also. So yeah, that's where people can find me.
Perfect, man. I love that, man. All his links are going to be in the description as well, guys. Thank you for coming on, man. This was a
Bro, it was my
tough,
pleasure, yo. It was my
sick
pleasure.
podcast, man. I love that, man.
Absolutely, man.